Anon.
Discord bot, he says.
We'll chat.
Give
We'll
me a
talk.
fucking...
Mods is a wonderful mod.
I know he is. Give me a second.
Why is he not?
Now you take it away because of that pun.
Yep. I don't. He smiles. Oh, my OBS decides to freeze when I click start recording. Oh, there we go. It is recording now. We're recording. We're recording. Very good. Okay. I think. Alright. Anyways. So as I was saying, a little band of adventurers have decided to find their way towards the Rising Sun library, of which they found quite a few answers, quite a few more questions. Depends on how they see the information that was given to them. They have found a map of the country of which they reside within, and started making some plans using said map. The direction that they've chosen to take this first is to go back towards Kobus and get his input onto what he believes would be the best course of action. And we go back as they leave the Rising Sun Library, making their way towards the new, let's call it, hub for their incoming adventures. Here's the grid. Let me turn on the grid. It's on. Very good. Who are you sending on Discord? That's fucking good.
Your Discord.
Alright. You make your way out of the library as you have spent quite a bit of time within it, studying, researching, and doing all sorts of things. I'm going to fucking kill you. Doing all sorts of things. Right, sure. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. As you have spent all of the day within the library, many hours, doing the things that you did, you now come out of it, and you know exactly the direction that it would take for you to make your way to Kobus. He is currently situated near the Marble District, but still within the Falls District. He already told you the address. All you need to do is go there. Is there anything that you would like to discuss in character on your way there? Any ideas, any plans?
Other than the fact that if we go to a library, I'm going to sit out.
Agree.
I'll take the cliff notes from Notebook. You got me, right, Notebook?
I will do my damnedest.
Thanks, buddy.
Is there anywhere we need to stop or go before we go do what we need to do?
I don't have anywhere to go.
I know we were on our way to say Kobos after we got what answers we could from the library. To figure out what answers we could from Kobos and then move from there.
Barring perhaps paying for fees for a broken down door.
Yeah. Door breaker.
I fixed it.
It's just a name now. Vile door breaker.
Fixed it. There was a moment. It
I
wasn't
didn't mean for
good.
that to sound like a sentence when I said that.
Oh wait, no. We convinced. I'm sorry, out of character. You guys have to remember. I convinced you guys weren't there, but I convinced the guy that someone
exactly, we
broke
weren't
the
there.
door. Yeah.
That's
So I
there's
don't have to
there's
pay for
whole
that
thing
door.
summed
I don't have to pay that door. I'm just gonna not say
Some lucky
no
rolls.
reply. I'll just stare at you when you make that comment.
You're just gonna have to look guiltily at every time we come to this place.
That guilty
when
natural
he
20.
Stares.
I feel no
When he
guilt.
just stares at Lila. I'm gonna say,
Um,
"What's wrong? Did that talking cat get your tongue?"
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't remember the talking cat that you had that rivalry with?
Oh yeah.
I do remember that, yes, but
I mean, it did speak more than you, so.
Mhm.
Bet if we say its name wrong, DM will correct us.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's a joke.
Hmm.
It's a joke.
You see that wind picking up?
He's pretty tanky. I think you can take it.
It's just
He
matter-
is. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Vile took care of it.
So, what's the name of the inn that the doors incident happened at anyway? Just trying to remember.
I have it written down.
Mhm.
I don't, because I didn't think it was going to be this important.
Or we're staying at? Or
I just
Yeah.
did not think I would actually need that information.
I would like to. After we talk with Kobos, we should press. I think we should press before we continue anything. You know, heal up, do everything we need to do before we go out again.
I agree. As much
I
as it
mean-
pains me to agree with Vile,
We were at the Seeping Crystal.
Seeping Crystal. Alright. Seeping Crystal. I'm putting this in caps, by the way. Seeping Crystal. Vile Doorbreaker earns his name. That's what I'm going to put in my notes.
anyway, shall we go on? Yes, I agree. Wow, everybody agreed.
I'm for it.
He's holding
Just
Pete
looking at you.
and the rat
He should
talking
be
like
holding Pete.
using them as
Oh, where's the
puppets.
rat?
To manage
Imagine Pete and the rat and Ralph. Ralph.
Reggie.
feel like
Right.
Reggie.
God,
I had the R right. I had the R right.
we're not
I'm sure I
renaming
would-
Reggie. It's Reggie. I'll
Alright,
fight
Reggie.
anybody.
I wasn't trying to rename him.
First he gets Kulu's actual character name wrong, then he gets the rat's name wrong.
I didn't get the character name wrong. That was
Then he
DM.
calls me
That was-
Zyla.
Come on.
Calm down, Xylophone.
I did call you Zyla. I admit that. I did not
Several
call
times, in fact.
Darian by the wrong name.
I only got one of those. One of those names is me. All of the other ones.
Bullshit.
I only ever
All
called
the
you
other-
Dorian.
Oh,
That is the
Dorian
only-
And Darius. Bullshit.
What? That wasn't me. That was small.
I don't. I'm gonna have to go through these mods.
Go ahead.
Anyway,
You got proof.
as we're making our way along our destination,
Yes.
just quiet small talk, I'll just say. You know, the town seems awfully dead. Maybe it's because we arrived during lively times. It was mere days ago. It's quite far gone already from the festival that we arrived to.
I'm glad. Those are religious zealots. Garbage people.
Oh my god, what an aggressive statement. Opinions, have we?
Strong ones.
I'll just nod. Or rather, the puppet I'm speaking through will nod.
Which one?
Solara. That's why I was doing the Solara voice.
Okay,
the faith.
this
Why
is
don't you
fair.
cheat?
It's been so long since I've heard Solara, since we've heard puppets talk.
Jesus.
That's right.
He's been going through a lot of puppets lately.
Alright.
You making your way through the town. It does feel slightly uneasy, as now you have a little bit of an inclination to believe that you might be being watched. But no one specifically looking shady, no one specifically looking at your direction in any kind of way, although you may take some of them as such. Paranoia building up slightly with some of you. But for the most part, it is a relatively calm trip towards the house that you have been directed to. It is right around there. This is the one thing that I do not have the map for. Yeah, it's been a stressful week. I haven't got the time to do a lot of things.
I feel that.
But you know where you are, and I can describe it to you. The place from the outside, yeah, that too. Like I said, it's stressful. The place from the outside does not seem to be, you know, luxurious. It is closer to the Marble District than most other places, so it is more well kept and even more well made than the rest of the town that you have seen so far. It is a two-store house, and you approach the door, and I assume you knock.
Bold assumption.
Oh wow, I'm sorry.
I will knock. There you go. Continue.
Loud footsteps can be heard as the large figure of Junrut is seen open the door, curving downwards and leaning onto the door to see onto all of you. Actually, let me grab him. Boop. Big boy.
Oh lord.
Jesus.
Drone.
He's
A
grown.
large wait. Yeah, you guys downgraded, so he's got a downgrade too. I think that's correct. Why is Koba so massive? Right. Oh Jesus, now he's tiny.
I got it. Keep going, keep going.
Alright. He comes to the door and opens it to you. Oh, it's good to see you all are safe. He takes a look around and he sees the battered, fight-worn clothes and blood splattered. Although you did clean it, so there's no blood, but you do look fucked up. So he looks at you, raises a brow ridge, and motions for you to enter. Did something happen? Are you all alright?
Attacked in the streets again, very quickly becoming a pattern.
Huh.
I must
That's...
confess, we're getting awfully tired of this city.
I...
And it's incompetent guards.
bet. I bet you would. Although I do not believe it to be the city, but honestly, I wouldn't know either. Come in. Phobos is waiting in his room. We are unsure how long we will be staying here for. But we do feel like we could help in some way. If there is anything that you need from us, he motions, and you see Killen and Galen at the back. You can just let us know. He looks at Lila.
Oh I'll just look at everyone, shake my head, and say, "We'll be fine."
I have some important business to deal with this man.
Oh.
What about those drums?
I apologize, Darian, but I haven't had the time to do so. Did not expect any of this to come up.
Move on up behind you. Say, we did kind of drag him into escorting us across the city.
Fair, but please put a rush on it.
I will,
Reginald is very anxious to become a musician.
Hey,
and we will make him into the best at what position there is.
rushing would only interfere with the quality.
He nods at Lila, nods at that.
I'm gonna I pull Reginald out and hold him up to Jeanrot.
He puts his finger out, which is basically the size of your hand.
Anyway, on to Kobos.
Big
Very
ass
well.
finger.
And Kobos. Oh. Tags.
Oh shit.
Moves across the house. The place isn't massive, but it is big enough for all of you. As you can tell that there are various different rooms upstairs, where the stairs lead towards. And he is currently at the back. And you entered this room as Junrut opens the door for you. The room itself, there are various different alchemical supplies and bookshelves full of different books and books thrown all over the place. And you do see the map of Tharan Barad laid across the table. Oh, friends, it's good to see that you're all right. He takes a look at Darian in his current state. I'm going to... not alright, I guess. Is everything...
Living.
Okay. Living, yeah. That sounds about right. Come in. What have you found in the Rising Sun Library?
Before we address that, Mr. Kobos,
Yes.
I feel we perhaps owe it to you to offer you something of a warning. As the last time we learned something of important, didn't report it.
What?
It may have resulted in our contact befalling harm. I would hardly wish the same to happen to you, so I must offer you something of a warning. As you have no doubt noticed, we were assailed in the streets.
It's what it seems.
A group who believed that we had whatever rock was in that cloth that we mentioned yesterday.
Oh. Right.
If they've been watching us,
Hmm.
they'll likely be watching you too.
Well, whatever it may have been, they did not make any moves towards me. But, that is a fair warning to make. Do you know what the group is?
Give Solar a little nod and say, from everything that we've gathered, we would believe it to be the Pale Grip.
Pilgrim. I've heard things of them, but I'm not from here, so I don't necessarily know what that means.
Yes, well, neither are we. We've been learning on the fly. All that we know is that it's not good that we've drawn their attention. Oh, not, Lila.
Hmm. Did you dispatch of them? I mean, you're breathing, so that's what I'm assuming.
Well, not.
Very well. Right. That is what I have heard. Darian. Them and the underbelly of this town seem to have a little bit of a history. And that they have holds in many places. Not much from that. I guess we should be careful then, moving forward. As if they are interested in this, there's definitely something interesting to be seen. So I am willing to see it through. Already started it. Came all of this way. But I understand if any of you do not wish to be a part of it. Although we can now discuss pay more properly, if you wish.
I'm always here for the money.
Very well. Sit. I have acquired a map of the surrounding areas and the country around us, so that we can more accurately portray our travels that we'll be doing in the next coming weeks and months, possibly. As for payment, what we are looking for currently is a supposed ruin near the Lone Mountains of Thoran Barad. If that ruin is to be true, and is to exist, and we are to find it, it is very possible that there are many treasures within it, of course. But just for the expedition itself, and for finding the place, I am willing to pay each one of you for your work 1,500 each. 2,500 if we find it. And whatever is within the ruins that would not pertain to historical research or just research in general, just wealth, all of you are more than welcome to keep, as I am not interested in such. How does that sound?
Sounds like it'll barely pay off the assassins after us now because of the same mission.
Oh, right. Now there's the pale grip. I guess there is an added risk. How about I add 1,000 gold pieces to both of those? Just for the trouble with the pale grip.
How about the 1,000 and you help us get us off that list? Off their list.
Very good then. Then it would be 2,500 to look for the place. 3,500 finding it. And whatever is inside is yours. He looks towards the rest of you.
I think I don't want to say like I'm not slack-jawed, but I'm definitely looking at Darian with a little bit of awe at just the single drop beat negotiation. Just no, give us more.
Hey, Kobos respects it. And he wasn't intimidating this time. He just used his word.
Absent-mindedly nod.
I have one issue with this.
Yes.
My companion here, as I kind of motion my hand towards Lila, and I may come across something there that is detrimental to our situation. And if that is more important to your research, how do we go about dealing with who retains such item?
That might be detrimental?
Without going into too much information.
You meant to say important.
Important, yeah.
Well, we can
Situation.
we can arrange a way for both of us to have access to said item, whatever that may be, and that way I can research it, and if you need it for your own doings, I would most likely be okay with allowing you to use it, as long as I get to do my research and at least know what it is and what it's used for and what it could be used for.
Just give Solara a nod and say, a bridge that perhaps can be crossed in more detail should it arise.
Yes. I am okay with that.
I'm okay with that as well.
Very good. Then it is set. 2,500 is the set price for the starting. What have you found? He rubs his hands excitedly.
Pulls out maps.
Did you copy the map?
I don't even know at this point. Like,
I
we
don't-
sat there for quite a while. I feel like I had the time, really.
To
We
study.
all copied the one map. I thought.
There was only one map to copy.
He has
Yeah,
he
so-
has the map laid out on the table of Thorombarad I explained earlier.
Yeah. So that was. So we don't have a map of that.
But we have the necessarily accoutrements to make one.
Yes.
Yes.
We also have the key points of interest that we're going to be visiting on that map, correct?
That is up to you
Well,
guys and
we have
what
to
you
find the
noted
route,
down.
so loosely.
So, go ahead.
No, you're good.
I was just gonna bring up stuff that we needed to do before we actually left town.
If we gotta tell Cornball to what's going on first.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
That's why I said go ahead.
For the sake of expediency, I'm just going to explain all that I've learned about the dwarves building and the location of the mountain and all that stuff. Okay. Just,
Okay.
I relate all of that to Kobos.
All right.
I relate to Colboss the shit's that's going on between me and the Mother Earth lady.
You're gonna have to be a bit more specific on that one.
The tyrant and stone throne made of bones and
Okay.
yeah, that stuff.
Uh,
The prophecy, I suppose, I guess is what it'd be closest related to.
I'm
Is
working
anyone-
on it, Pie Boat. I'm working on it.
is anyone going to actually have a conversation with him?
I leave that to the people who spent most of the time researching our actual goal. My
Which
research is
is
personal.
no, you did stuff about the Earth Genasi shit,
Yes.
which was a part of our goal.
I'll ask Kobos. Should we? Well, Kobos, I want your opinion. Should we head to the Pale Grip to talk to them to see if they can stop hunting us? Should we go to the underbelly and talk to whoever's in charge there? Maybe he can relay a message, or should we trek through to the ruins and with the assassins on our tail?
I've been moved.
Time out. What?
That
Weren't those the options? Am I wrong? Anybody? This is above
Guys?
table.
yeah, people.
I mean, there's also the fourth option of trying to figure out if we can find a contact for the Pale Grip here in this town and just pay them off from
That's what I
here.
meant with the under.
Oh, the underbelly. Okay, I see what you mean.
If
Okay.
you could talk to the guy
I
at the
mean,
underbelly, see if you can get a
it
message.
was less about like a contact, more
Oh.
about like getting them to fuck off forcibly, because our contact
Oh,
does
okay.
not like them.
So, am I incorrect? Were there other options that I did not mention?
So then, no, you're pretty dead on.
Yeah, the options you stated were
What we had previously
use,
discussed.
use crime to make them fuck off, ignore them, or go deal with them ourselves.
I am all for going to deal with them ourselves.
I think we will die if we try to go deal with them ourselves.
I'm not disagreeing with either party.
Can we pay him off?
I mean,
Cornball
Oh,
seems to be
no.
rich.
corn.
I don't know. Vile's one-hit KOs and your tankiness, we might be able to deal with a couple of them.
Disconnected from server.
Yeah, it did it to me too. Although
Yeah,
I
everyone
had to
disconnected.
reconnect.
I am unsure, as I do not have too much information on the Pale Grip. I do not know which one would be the best. Of course, I would love for the expedition to be done as soon as possible. But if it'll be a problem that you think would be best dealt now than later, then I do not mind pushing it back. It is
I
really...
guess that's something we need to discuss with the party then.
It was something we'd already discussed slightly,
Yeah.
but I believe that we had. I thought we'd more or less come to the conclusion that trying to deal with them was not an option. Every piece of information that we've come across indicates their organization is sweeping vast and far out of our capability range.
Is there any way that we can prove to them that we don't have what they're looking for and possibly leave us alone?
And that is the thing that bothers me, is that for what we've heard, an organization of their size, and I'll do some air quotes with my free hand, for Solara, prestige, one would think that they would already know that we don't have it. Meaning they've either been tricked or their motives are different.
Or
One
we
way to
have
prove
something we don't realize we have. One of the items we're in possession of is not what we think it is.
Well, we know what they're after, correct? And we don't actually have possession of it.
Hell no,
Well, that's the problem. We don't actually know what they're after looks like, other than rock-like.
Well, no, it was quite clear that the one that we interrogated, so to speak, was after the rock that he, gestures Solara to Vile, he picked up. But we know that he only picked up this cloth.
I mean,
That rock was left on the ground in the middle of some random alley. Anyone could have taken it.
Zach, it was actually pulled down with the mountain.
So we have three ways of dealing with the Pale Grip. We deal with them ourselves. We try to pay them off and convince them that we have nothing, or we just go and continue on the run from them.
I hate to add more options to this mess, but there's also the that we find whatever they're looking for.
Which we could strike a bargain with them if it's possible.
So they already have the first piece, don't they?
I feel like giving them what they want would be a mistake.
No.
These don't
Well,
seem like the.
that rock, it got pulled under with the man.
Well, if that's the case, we have information that they do not, and having them on off of our tails while we look for the item that they seek would allow us to do what we need to. And in return, we could trade them the information that we know possibly where the stone was last seen, and we could work from there.
That simply puts us back into territory that we discussed before while leaving the library. Our knowledge of them, as informed of us by the goddess with whom we spoke, and our contact with them already put us in risk, period. Further interactions with them, peaceful, intense, or otherwise, are likely not safe for us.
In vain.
We already know too much.
So then we just continue moving and hope that we can kill off whatever they send at us.
I'm gonna nod, and I'm gonna say, wherever our journeys will take us, what is likely is we will become stronger. Perhaps strong enough to deal with them should things arise to a different point, but right now it seems to be our only option the way I see it. I'll nod Solara along with me.
And as I see it, it's better to deal with them then than it is to deal with them now.
I'll nod.
I'm not one to
Then-
run from a conflict, but I'll go where Lila goes.
I need rest, is what I need.
Agreed.
Notebook, you have any input on this?
My headset disconnected about 30 seconds ago, so no.
Nice.
And
I was
besides,
trying not to say anything and let things progress, but then you specifically asked me a question.
speaking
What
of
is this
Solara again,
headset you speak of?
what is hand?
It's my ability to hear the world.
You
Good.
mean your ears? Got it.
Speak of the Solara again, I'll say. And besides, you may not like the idea of running from the problem, but the longer that we evade them and stay alive, the more likely it is, with more time, that they come to realize they've made a mistake. Right now, outlasting is our only option.
Only gonna get tougher.
I think I can show them that they've made a mistake picking a fight with us right now, but like I said, I'll follow Lila.
I as well. I have a question above table. Below table, whatever.
Yeah.
Somebody knows how to create an illusionary trinket, correct?
Yeah, with the prestidigitation.
Would
Yeah, it lasts
It
for like
only
6
lasts
seconds.
For 6 seconds, yes.
okay.
It is a non-magical trinket or illusory image that fits in the hand.
Here's a toy elephant for 6 seconds. Boop, in your hand. That's
Hmm.
pretty much what you get.
Is that it?
Above table. We're all voting for I
Rest.
personally would rather I would go for them, but that's me. But you guys are intending on mountain instead of underbelly boss.
Hmm.
Yep, I say we go do other. I say
Gotta-
we save that for.
Again, this is all above character. I'm just saying I want to be clear on everybody's vote because fancy words.
So, out of curiosity though, when do we go to the forest or the tree people, whatever it's called?
Later.
Oh, yeah, we have no fucking idea. That is.
Because we know
way
that
out
that
of
has
scope.
to do with relation to the mountain, doesn't it?
I mean, if wherever we go, we're gonna find more information on new things. So we're only limited for what we have here.
My vote was
Too long.
underbelly boss.
I
We
think
got
no matter
boss
where
with
we
mountain.
go, there's gonna be an excessive amount of danger, and if we do it wrong, we could all die. And therefore, no matter what choice we make, we're just going into danger. And we should just flip a coin almost at this point because we're going round and round about which way to go and not just going at any time.
Fair enough, but I'm just trying to
All
understand
of us
what you
need
guys.
to rest first.
No, that was an in character thing. I'm
Yep.
sorry.
No, you're good. No, you're good.
So let's get some rest, and then in the morning we'll continue from there.
Alright, hold on. Lemon just raided. I don't know how to deal with raids.
Oh,
Lemon, what are you doing? Why are you...
Out of
Thank you,
character.
Cool.
What do
Raiden,
you
the only
mean
reason
raid? Oh crap! Now they're raiding the city.
out of character. The only reason I brought up the whole like tree, great tree or oak tree or whatever the hell it's called, is because I know that they were able to defend off whatever's ever in the mountain, right?
Some way, shape,
Am
or
I wrong
form.
on that?
Well, it's up to your own interpretations.
Again,
Let me deal with the raid, you guys. Deal with this.
hit the push me button. Deal with your shit.
again, we got
Hi everyone. Hold on, let me
tasks.
mute them.
That is
Uh,
just future.
No, I'll leave them in the background. I'll just turn them down a bit. Hi everyone. Everyone that came with the raid with Lemon. Hey Lemon, thank you.
Like,
Thank you for the raid.
About what
Uh,
we should do is kinda
hey,
how I
King.
say.
It's been a while. Haven't seen you in a
And at
bit.
some point, it's just
Oh.
about
King,
let's do the thing.
thank you for
Yeah, we're gonna.
thank you
get
for the
it.
follow, King. I appreciate it.
I will start heading towards the door.
They're
if
going to
anyone
the thing.
else needs me,
Um,
I'll be in my room.
Hi everyone. We're doing a D&D stream. This is the 11th episode. Civilian email.
Setting up our room.
Hi diddly ho, J3.
Yeah, but
Did he like?
Oh, but they haven't.
Thank you so much. Thank you
is this
everyone
like
for
one of
coming. Thank you,
those,
Lemon,
single-player games where you unlock
for
characters, and then, like, when you
for
unlock
raiding.
them, it gets
Absolute
completely decorated for you.
amazing. Yes, that is me.
Assuming
That
the
is me indeed.
whole House was.
Hey King.
like,
It's been a while. Oh yeah, those are
I could crash
thanks, Sin.
together, I don't know yet.
Those are my socials.
oh,
All the things.
Kobas. Okay, how about?
Okay, I need to
if
talk to
you'll-
them.
I'll
Hold on.
start heading towards the door, and then I'll turn towards Kobas
Yes.
and say, "Kobas, can you please show me to my room?"
Ooh, yes, of course, of course. I can show you all to your rooms. Come, follow me. He moves past you through the door, and starts moving towards the stairs. Going upstairs, and there are rooms for each one of you. You can take your pick of each one of the rooms. Pretty much the same size. I wouldn't bother too much. But yeah, and you can see rooms as you go upstairs. There are 3 rooms in front, 2 rooms on the sides of the halls, and 1 moving to the right of the stairs backwards.
I'll take the one right as this. I want the one that's by the stairs.
Alright.
That's backwards.
Yeah. You're all taking a room?
Whichever is available.
Alright. Oh fuck, so many people now. It's Oh, I'm nervous. Okay. You're going to take into your rooms. Kobus leaves you to do so. The decision, hold on. The decision that you got to was to go to the mountain, right? The Alone Mountains.
Yes. Multi, did you have anything else in town to do? No, I
Shopping
didn't.
episode. Shopping episode.
Shopping
Yeah,
episode.
No,
No, please no.
no. We do have stuff. Yeah, we need some basics, and I need some more wizardly materials, and that's it.
We should pick up some basics, like some supplies before we leave.
Yeah, I need map tubes for protecting maps and such, things like that.
Kobus can
I
provide that
just
for
need
you.
Food, maybe some potions.
And
Food you will be provided. Potions, that is indeed up to you if you wish.
I'm gonna let you know I'm gonna add 5 map tubes to my character sheet if you're saying they're just being provided. That's what I was gonna buy.
If you're good, he would have a map tube for the map for Thornbarad, but he would have 3 more extras.
Alright, cool. So I'll put 4 map tubes on my character sheet. And other than that, wizardly materials, I just need more of that arcane paper that I need for writing down spells.
Okay, you will be able to find that without a
you should-
problem in Thornbarad.
You should put 3 map tubes because he has 4 altogether, but one's taken by the map itself. They
Yeah.
showed
Yeah,
us.
but I'm not gonna write down which one's in what tube. I'm just gonna write 4 map tubes, and then I have
okay.
map tubes that should obviously be kept in the.
I do have
Like,
a
as
pretty
far
sure
as
you can fit. Pretty sure you can fit 2 maps in one tube too. So
easily, yeah, probably. But
I do have a question.
Yes.
So either direction we go, we're still going north. And any destination we go, we're going further north.
Yeah.
Do we need cold winter gear?
It is not that far north. It wouldn't
Okay,
be
I just wanna make sure
necessary.
We don't need like cold gear.
actually, going into the mountains. Well, DM says it's not, so I'm gonna shut up.
Is it possible to put on my character sheet? I'll figure out what the goal is. That we won't have to work around it now. To get a couple titans and some extra rope.
Do you not have that? Are you sure you don't have that on your pack that you gain your starter pack?
Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure it's like one of the few things I don't have on it.
Yeah, you can buy a climber's pack or a dungeoneer's pack, and you can just mark off the money.
I have 10 pitons, a hammer, crowbar,
Okay. The wizard has.
100 foot of rope.
He's a climber
I'm
on
a
his
traveling
off days.
scholar, damn it. I did field research.
Okay, yeah. See, I don't in my pack. I don't have that. That's why I was asking.
Okay, so
I'm
yeah.
just letting you know that I do have some of that kind of stuff.
Okay, then I'm good if you're willing to share. your
Like if
pack.
somebody wants to go buy a climber's kit or something out the store, that might be a good idea. But outside of that, I've even got 2 blocking tackles, so we can hoist heavy stuff up the mountain if we need to.
All right. Is there anything else that you would like to do before you go to sleep?
You said food and water is provided.
Yes.
Okay, so don't we get on water?
Oh my
Okay.
god, I got 20 pythons?
Jesus Christ. You let me just I will for the travel itself, I will do that after the sleep. Because he will go over a bit of a preview or a review of what the travel is going to be like and how you're going to travel.
Okay. I know they can be created on the go, but before we leave, I'd like actually to pick up a couple torches.
All right.
Just in case, because I don't have anything like that on my character sheet, even though that I have dark vision.
Check,
torches are
I
nice.
might have them.
I have dark vision as well.
I'm the only one without dark vision. I'm pretty sure.
All right.
And no, I don't have torches, it looks like.
So
Still
yeah.
reading.
So everyone going to sleep now, I am assuming.
Yes.
Very good.
Unless anyone wanted to talk to me.
Who said that, Lila?
Well,
I have no torches, so yeah, you can buy torches. I've also got 10 iron spikes.
All right. Would you like to
So
talk before you go to sleep?
I guess I can go talk to Lila and see how Lila's doing. I feel like that's pretty important with our connection.
All right. You knock on her door during her nighttime rituals.
Yeah, knock, knock, knock,
Might be
in a soft way.
just kind of chilling out in my room, playing my lyre. Just call out. It's unlocked. People don't care for my locks anyway.
I
Wow.
slightly open the door and peek my head in. May I enter?
Go ahead.
And I'll walk in and I'll softly shut the door behind me. So I look around the room, hearing the lyre being played or tinkled with, whatever the word is. How are you doing, my lady, this fine evening?
First of all, I told you not to call me that. It's weird.
hilarious.
Fine. Worried. But I'll shrug.
Thank you everyone for coming, by the way.
Uh,
Appreciate you guys
is your
for staying as
is your
well.
mind taking it easier on you now that your curse has been shared?
Oh no, rest assured, it's still awful.
Oh, please tell me about it. I know, but I don't know the pain that you've gone through with it.
I hope that you don't have to, but I have a suspicion that you will learn.
Ah, yes. I just came to your room to check up on you to see how you were doing, and it's good to see you. I'll turn to walk out of the room.
I'll nod. Say, I'm fine. Take care of yourself as well.
Thank you. And I'll open the door, close the door softly behind me, and walk off to my room. Wait, no, I'm gonna walk off outside and let everybody else do their thing.
Okay.
I'm just gonna rest after that day.
Good. Good.
Is there alchemical supplies already in my room?
Yes. They bring it to you if you ask them to, yes.
Alright.
Vile, anything?
Can't really think of anything I really need. I haven't really even been using any of my stuff either.
Alright. You all may lay yourselves to sleep. You can also grant yourself a full rest.
Oh shit! I wanted to do something before we all went to sleep.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, first I was actually gonna walk outside and do the little meditating thing I've been trying to do every night since we've been here.
Alright.
Try to like feel the nature energy. And the other thing I was gonna do was suggest to everybody to leave their doors open tonight and trade off on watch in case we get attacked by the hand or grasp, pale grasp, whatever it's called.
Pale grip.
Pale grip.
I was
Yeah.
gonna make a
Grasp
random side
base.
comment about how my character sleeps in the naked
too.
when he gets the chance, but now you're talking about getting pell grasped, and I'm like, nah, I'm good on that.
Sleep with their doors open. That way, if somebody decides to try to sneak in the middle of the night, whoever's on watch can alert the rest.
Are you all okay with the watch?
I agree.
I'll take first.
As we journey, a watch will be necessary anyway, as well as begin to get into a habit.
Alright.
Take last watch.
So, DM, does my door open out into the hallway or into the room?
Out into the hallway.
I'm gonna tie my door shut to the window so that the window can't be open and the door can't be open and go to sleep.
Alright. We can do so.
Alrighty then. And I just want to go outside and connect and feel with Mama Earth.
Okay. Darren's taking first watch. Vala's taking the last one. There are... Okay. Lila will take the
Actually,
second.
I'll take the middle watch. So that
Okay.
we
I mean, I
can
guess
both-
technically I'll be taking first watch with Darian because I'll be outside. So
Okay, so Patu takes the first, Darren takes the second. I assume Lila takes the third. Because you can't... there's 4 watches. And then
Oh,
Vile
yeah.
takes the last.
Oh, yeah, I don't even have to take a watch.
Well, you
Okay.
turn
I mean,
yourself
you,
into
you
your own
yeah, you
ghost.
you
I didn't
locked
plan on
yourself
not
in.
taking a watch, but you can wake me up. I'm not gonna leave my door open in case intruders. That sounds dumb as hell. In case intruders show up, leave your doors wide open.
You never know. They might be coming in through the windows. They're clever enough to be on roofs.
The windows
mean,
closed shut. I tied the window to the door so neither could be opened. If you try to open the window, it pulls the door more shut. If you try to open the door, it pulls the window more shut.
Well, he's got to figure it out. But yeah, we got the
So he,
the routines for the watches, and you go outside to take the first watch and starting your meditation. All right. Let me grab some things. What are you doing exactly, Patui?
Oh, see, I was gonna take first watch with Darian. That way he can watch inside, and I was gonna sit outside and do my little meditation thing I do to try to connect with the earth.
Then there would need to be a 4th watch, which
Oh, okay, that's what you're saying. Well, then I'll just do it whenever I can. I was just gonna meditate for a little bit and try to connect with Mother Earth and get that connection going a little bit if I could.
all right.
I know I've realized over the time of being here, I've kind of sensed a little bit of a lack of connection.
Yeah. Oh. Repeat.
Oh, there goes the bot.
Yep. Here
Hi,
you go.
bot.
It's the bot.
Oh wow.
Hi, bot.
And I guess if I'm gonna be specifying how I'm doing this, I guess I'm gonna put my hands flat on the stone ground and sit my butt cross-legged and try to feel the vibrations of the earth. You know, listen to the rhythm, listen to the beat.
All right. Turn this up. Oh, my whole thing is going out of balance. Patui.
Oh, I just realized the bot was playing. Hold on, let me turn that up. Okay, good. Oh, fuck.
You make your way outside and you lay down onto the ground, cross-legged. Your hands laid across the earth as you feel it almost instantly rumbling. You don't even need to get into that connective state to the earth anymore. It is just something that you are now feeling. The earth screaming onto you. But you're yet not sure on whether it wants your help or your destruction. You close your eyes and starts to meditate, taking in that feeling that you always do, inhaling deeply, and as you exhale, it feels warm inside your chest and warm all around you. That feeling of home all over. With your eyes closed, it's almost as if you can feel the sun sprayed out across the skies and all of the different sun flares caressing onto your skin. Gentle heat. And this chant is now just a part of your meditations. There is no avoiding it. As also this new sound, constant clinking of metal on metal. It disrupts the pattern. It doesn't feel the same to make this connection to the earth. Now and again, every time that you hear the beat, it takes you out ever so slightly. But pulling through with everything that you have, you hear again. Child. Child of the forest. Your path. It is laid out in front of you so clearly. I see it. You've already done so much in my name. Home is very, very close. You just need to push forward. I see you just as clearly as I see her now. She's no longer hidden from me. But you need to be careful. This darkness that you have accepted within you, that can corrupt you. You must not allow it. You've gotten stronger. I sense it within you. Hold it close. Yourself. Her. And make your identity known before whatever this entity is takes over. Do you wish to say anything?
I'm not really. I was not expecting this. I'm gonna sit there and listen like a child sitting on the floor.
Your cycle will be complete, young one. The stars call for you, as one day you may find our home yet again. But first you may find your own. I will be here every step of the way. Your footprints along the ground. I will follow, and I will mark this earth with your history. Move forward, my child, and I will grant you with any strength that I may have. I didn't put this thing in repeat. Sorry. As she stops, the chant that you heard so many times before, it feels closer. It's almost as if you can make a bit more sense of it. And you see horns, hair, familiar face. You see Lila in front of you. You see her reading books, various different books. It's almost as if her understanding is shared amongst both of you. The feeling that she felt while reading all of those books on the Earth Genasi, on the lullaby, their duty. It's not as much as you have the knowledge, more like a filter. You filter her knowledge through your experience with the Earth and channel it. This is essentially my official way of saying that you have reached level 3. And also giving you a little bit of insight onto how your soul connection works.
Okay then. Thank you, DM. My character's still going to be an awestruck, because again, he was not expecting that deep connection with her in that.
Very
Is
good.
any of this visible to me who is just sitting next to him watching?
As you're sitting next to him, you do feel the moment that he exhaled the first time, that warmth, you can also feel it all around you. A little bit the wind picking up. It feels strange. You're not sure on what it is that you should be feeling right now, as this is very much part of his religion. But he seems to be at peace. It seems to be his comfort place.
When he wakes up, I would talk to him, but I would
Yeah.
disturb him.
And as this comes to a close, you feel that warmth leave you somewhat as you come back to the area. Looking around, you see Darian as you take your hands off of the earth, still feeling the rumble slightly. And he's, in his own mind, probably notices that you have come out of your trance.
Oh, hello there. It's quite the experience, wasn't it?
There, Panda Boy.
Do you know what we call that from where I'm from?
No, I don't.
I wave my hands in front of my face. Magic.
I'm gonna cover my face with my hand and be like, I don't know how I'm friends with these people.
I do appreciate
Anyway.
you watching.
You're up on watch now.
Aye. Go get your sleep.
Just shake my head and walk away.
I'm gonna walk back in with Dare there and stand in the or sit at the end of the hallway. Or wherever the rooms are.
Alright.
I'm gonna sit in the middle.
Very good. You stand your ground for your watch, and as you are, actually, yeah, you are in full elf, which means you don't need to sleep as much as the rest, so you can take 2 watches if you wish, and take someone else's sleep.
I don't think I have trance, do I?
You're a full elf. Vile is also
I
full
am
elf, yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit! I forgot about that. That's alright. Okay, so then yeah. Sounds
Alright.
good to me.
Okay. Lila.
I'm Lila.
Yes, you are.
Sometimes.
Let's go. I'm here to suffer.
Why is my OBS is all fucked? Oh well. Oh, there we go. Lila, as you find yourself to your nightly rituals and make your way to bed, that sound that has lately been calmed through the actions of Patui and his connection to his deity. You lay yourself to rest, hearing it in your head, and at the same time you still hear the chant. That chant that was so strong when you were in the library, reading about it, and even more now. It's almost as if there's a surge as this sound gets drawn out slightly, and you hear a bit of a combination of the two of them, the chant with the beat of the metal. From your mind, they seem to go together. Neither is interrupting the other. There's almost as if an understanding that you feel listening to it in this darkness. And you hear the low growl. It does not speak as it did before, but you do feel the burn on your shoulder. You feel eyes upon you all over. You feel like you're being watched, but uncertain by who. In this darkness, you take a moment to gather your thoughts and understand the previous couple of days. As you know what it is that you want to do. You know that you want this to be done with. Pull out something. You hear a voice to your left. Oh. Hello, darling. It is good to see you calmer. And you see Solara next to you, floating, looking at you with the same old eyes that it always did, but you can feel the inquisitiveness. Are you doing all right?
You would think with everything that's been going on, the answer would be a rather firm no. Honestly, I'm not so sure anymore.
That is understandable.
I wouldn't say I'm better, I wouldn't say I'm worse. Just that things are moving, and that gives me hope.
Well, at least the answer wasn't stuck. But you have always been strong. I'm sure you can get out of it.
To do it alone.
Certainly don't have to. I've been here for so long, Lila. I've essentially watched you grow. I am always here to take care of you. I am here.
God. I know.
You see her eyes flare with flames. It will all be okay.
I think so too.
I do believe it has been quite a while. You've seen your parents. I have tried to keep you safe as much as I can. But, you chose not to go back. And I wondered why.
I see it quite a different way, actually. I chose to go back. Just not now.
Hmm.
Before that conversation, maybe I still wasn't sure. I'm sure there was always part of me that knew it would have to happen eventually, but I think it was good for me to make that choice, albeit assisted, for myself.
Hmm. I barely even need to take care of you anymore. You seem to be handling yourself well. Making decisions. All on your own.
You've always doted, but for as much as I will put on the front,
Hmm.
I appreciate it, and I know who I am.
That's good. As you say that you know who you are, you see her image flicker, fade ever so slightly. That. That is good to. That is good to hear. You won't need me soon. That is all that I care for. You have been so kind to me. And you have taught me a lot of things. Things that I did not know I needed. But we can discuss those another time. As they are quite a lengthy list. For now, you can take a rest.
I appreciate it.
Get rid of the sound. It is maddening. As she says that, her image fades into the darkness behind her. And you see a light coming from your right. Green light. As you look into the side and you see a tall figure holding a staff. You see Patui, his silhouette. His staff falls to the ground as he lays cross-legged, sorry, onto the ground and lays his palm flat onto the earth. You feel that sound go away. And all of this just be done with. As he exhales, you feel a warmth onto your chest. And that fills you with a weird sense of home, of which you haven't been able to feel in a very long time. Neglected for most of it, for your own sake. At this point, you allow yourself to drift off completely, feeling as if something was accomplished even if nothing happened. Things were said, but nothing was actually progressed. Maybe they needed to be said. But you feel that connection to Patu getting stronger, and you're not sure what that means. Reaching level 3. Oh, baby. Vile.
Yep.
Let me pull up here. You lay down to sleep. And you feel the room around you get darker and darker. It isn't your eyes closing. It's almost as if the lights themselves dim, the candles spread across your room. You feel yourself engulfed into darkness. And your bed gives, and you fall. Your arms outstretched upwards, reaching for anything. There's nothing there. You fall and you fall in a constant state of panic, not knowing what to do. You hear this vibration all around you, pressing onto you, almost as if this darkness is pushing against you. And you hear a voice, and it's almost as if that voice lights up in your head, a beacon, a spotlight. Starwalker, wielder of dark. You have done many things since I have taken you onto my wings. My light has brought you to where you are today. But your own darkness The shadow that you've left behind onto this world is what will remain. And now you have come to me. I feel the strength within you, as you have called upon me to smite down upon your foes. Your strength is commended, Starwalker. But you now need my strength. Your oath as a paladin to the celestial hands shall be upkept. Thus thou sweareth an oath to the light that guideth thine sword and thy footsteps, to the dark that obscureth thee from thy foes, and the warmth that holds thine heart pure and true to thy wishes. Will thee stand defiant within the darkness, act as an unseen beacon for those whom eyes cannot pierce the veil of shadows? Take upon this oath. Take onto the shadows to work with the light. Do you swear?
Sorry, I had my mic.
Hmm?
I nod, and then I say, I swear.
Then take the light. Take your darkness. And help those who have neither. For you are also looking for your own light. I have given you dark. Look for it. It is your twin. It is your other half. It is you. Until you find it, it will eat within you without you even knowing. But go forth, Starwalker. Go forth and spread like darkness amongst the room. And make those who oppose you suffer the light. It stops. Your oath taken. This is so bad. You have now taken upon the oath of the light. You are now a properly made paladin of the celestial hands. And what that means, well, I will make sure to send it to you. As you continue on to your sleep, feeling yourself stronger, the darkness around your room no longer pressing against you, but coming from you, as you are now a walker of the dark. And reached level 3. As of Zed,
Yes.
yawns.
Zed learns.
Sorry?
Making the meme joke about wizards learn.
Nice.
I don't know what I learned, but I learned some shit, by God.
You lay yourself to sleep. As you feel the voice in the back of your head once again. It's, it seems as if we're going to have to be dealing with the assassins. Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Hmm,
That was going to be an inevitable, it seemed anyway.
true. Well, there are plenty of things happening at the same time, and I don't know when we will have time to, well, discover more about this. But I will give you what I have. It is not much. But it is all that I can give. As I have nowhere else to go. And I do not wish to, either way. What is the game plan from here on out?
Well, first we've got to figure out the assassins, as well as putting together this multitude of information that each of us has gotten and shared with each other. On the mountain and the Great Wood Basin, and hopefully somewhere along the way I'll find out more about this akin effect.
Hopefully. I I don't understand why you do this. I suppose is what I wanted to know. You, of course, there's Kobas, and he is a friend. But where are you going?
Right now, I'm probably nowhere fast, but got to figure out where to go to figure that out.
That is true. I just... You're a puzzle to me, Zed. You, there are many things that I chose not to see within your mind. And there are some that I was unable to. Which I am unsure whether you're aware of or not. I assume you are.
At least most of it.
Well, I won't poke around too much. I feel for you. I can sense your mind degrading as time goes on. I wish I could help more. Maybe I am, and I don't know. Oh, my apologies. My mind keeps going, well, mind. I'm not even sure I have one of those. Regardless, my mind keeps going around in circles, and I can't seem to get anywhere. But I'm sure we'll find what we're looking for. Or at least one of us will. That is all.
Well, we'll keep moving and figure this thing out as we go. I will get some rest.
Alright. As you feel him leave your consciousness, you feel something else fill that space. Something that you haven't heard in a while. Familiar. Chuckles, giggles. Those sounds are almost unbearable. Now. And you
Off to sleep. Oop, go ahead.
Oh, yep. You feel yourself engulfed in liquid as you start to drift off. You touch onto your body and you feel liquid all over you. Your hands, your chest, your face, your legs. You open your eyes to look at them, and your hands are filled with blood. All around you, your entire body covered in blood. And all of a sudden you see it almost get sucked out of you in a natural form as it floats in front of you in a shape almost like a V shape upwards. Looking at it, it makes you feel uneasy, but it also looks very familiar. Something haunting you to this day. And then you hear screams in the distance. You see phantom images of children running in the opposite direction that you're facing. And you see this thing of blood in front of you float away in the direction that they were coming from. In the blinding speed, as you know what is to come. Instinctively, you take off running behind it, attempting to stop what is to come, knowing full well what has already happened. As you reach the area, you feel sand underneath your feet. Feel water in and out, brushing against your feet. As you look upon the ground, you see no one. Nothing in particular. But you see yourself. You're not sure if it's a reflection. You're not sure if it's a whole other you. But this you does not have red hair. As you pull it closer to you and hold it, embracing, and you feel tears coming out of your eyes. Looking around, you do not see the blood anywhere. You hear behind you. There's blood in the shattered ground. It drips down onto the ocean. The ocean waters, the ocean waters. You. It'll come again. The shattered halo will shine bright, bright crimson all across Sotha. And you will see. My wings will encompass the entirety of your existence. You. You will be nothing to me. Nothing. Nothing. Disgusting. I'll see you there. It drifts away. You look around. No matter where you look, the sound always behind you. You look down into your hands. The other you no longer there. Blood onto your hands. No longer feeling the sand or the water. Brush your hair off of your face. In an attempt to gather your bearings. But you feel an exhaustion coming across you. Feel weight pushing onto your body as you lay down. Peaceful. Surprisingly peaceful. No thoughts whatsoever. Just darkness. You hear? You sleeping okay? Familiar voice. Very familiar voice. One that you haven't heard in a long time. You may do something.
Of course not. I'm gonna try and continue to sleep as best I can.
You hear it again. Let's see. No, what? Don't go back to sleep. You feel poking onto your side.
Hmm?
Do
So
you-
I'm getting poked in my side?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I would look at that point. Seeing as how at most the only thing that should be in my room is a ferret and a centipede.
As you open your eyes, you're no longer in your room. It is just all dark. You open your eyes looking up and you see the stars, and you look to the side and you see her kneeling next to you. She looks at you with a smile. Look up. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yes.
I know things are difficult for you. And I like to be sure that you get some time to get a little peace of mind so you can gather your thoughts. I know you don't get many of those.
Well, all a part of the life in this world.
Hmm.
Have to deal with everything going crazy, especially when you're going crazy.
But it shouldn't be. I should be the one in your place. I don't understand this either. And I wish it was different. Nonetheless, I just wish for you to enjoy the time with me. She looks back up at the stars. It's wonderful to think what it is that the future holds for us. So much light out there. See every single one of them. And yet none of them actually cast any light onto us. It's just that big ball out there. She looks to the moon. Always staring at us.
Always bringing us close together enough to have this facsimile, but still better than nothing at all.
I guess. It's a bit of a bitch if you ask me.
Well,
Taking all the spot from the rest of the stars. Think I can take it? Wanna fight? She raises her fist up towards the moon, shakes it vigorously.
think you would try if you could reach it.
Maybe one day. You never know. You can learn how to fly. You've been learning a lot about wizard stuff, or whatever it is that you're doing. Who knows? You may take me there.
Maybe. First, I gotta figure out how to reverse what happened.
You see her image flicker as you say that. She fades a little. It is okay. She looks at you. I'm with you. Wherever you go. No need to dwell in the past.
I didn't realize you were still. I
Oh.
started too early.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say for as long as I either last or until I figure this out.
You're a smart cookie. You'll last very long. I'm sure of it. I am glad to die with you. Don't worry about me. Take care of yourself. Your image fading a bit more.
I mean, I'll see you again.
Maybe.
Every day.
Yeah. Every day. Be safe. She fades along with the grass underneath you and the stars. And the only thing that stays is the moon. Now, not just a shining beacon of light, but it feels bigger, stronger, and as it always has been in your life, imposing somehow. And this time, you push back. You feel your mind getting clearer as you push against the influence that it has on you. As you manage to drift back onto sleep, feeling that strength, allowing it to give you determination to move forward. And that's level 3. And a little bit of backstory. Darian.
Yeah.
You you leave Patui for his own devices to continue his watch. As you take up to your bedroom and go to sleep. Do you drink yourself to sleep or just...
I wouldn't drink unless I start hearing voices while I'm still awake.
Okay. You fall asleep. Instead of hearing voices, you hear absolutely nothing. Complete and absolute silence. The silence isn't just on your ears, but on your body, your soul. You don't feel it calm you, but you feel it attempt to. All the rage that you have, pushing back against it. Within this silence, you can hear the sounds of war. It's strange not being able to actually hear anything and more just feel them. Almost as if your heart starts racing, adrenaline pumping through your veins, and your reflexes getting faster and faster as you feel other people brushing against you, your shoulder, your chest. You feel your arms move independent of your will. and fighting motions all around you. Automatically. Something that is second nature to you. Blocking, attacking, dodging, blocking, attacking, dodging. Constantly, over and over. Until you reach a point where you can see the battlefield and you see no one there. There's only you, but you continue fighting. You feel the pressure against your blade when you move it, but you don't see who it is. Fighting constantly, not with someone, just yourself. You feel the wind moving around you, rustling leaves across the ground that you also cannot hear. And all of a sudden, it shifts into a storm. You feel rain pouring down your face. You feel your feet attempting to gather balance as the ground itself moves, shakes. You slide onto your back and fall. Looking up to the sky, you feel the rain pouring onto you as you hear shouting now. People screaming around you. People screaming for you. Something. You take upon your sword that has fallen to the ground off of your sheath, and you sink it onto the wood underneath you and attempt to get up. You see people running all over the place, familiar faces. What is it? It's not working. You feel the sense of leadership that you should be taking on. Bed. You see your room. not the room of which you were when you fell asleep. You see a bowl with water. Did I? Oh, fuck.
We've lost stream and game.
It disconnected. Oh,
I didn't
there we
realize
go.
it was also a stream. I just knew we got booted from the game.
Yeah.
I saw streamed like a little,
Oh,
little bit later.
Looks like
Yeah.
stream's back up.
Stream's back up. Refresh.
Now I have the hiccups. What a wonderful time.
Oh, let me mute for a second. Make sure you have
Will
sound.
that
'Cause
have
my
fucked the
OBS is
recording
up.
Mm.
Sound is good. Recording should be separate.
Yeah, it's still recording.
Yep.
You see onto a desk a bowl filled with water and towel onto it. You don't see anyone in the room. The only person that you see is a small tiefling girl peeking onto the door, looking at you curiously. And as you two reach out to attempt to talk to her, the door closes. As soon as that door closes, everything goes dark. You feel the silence within you, making you stronger, making you remember even further. You feel the words that have been spoken to you before. War does not make you warrior. And they echo into the night as you drift to sleep, unbothered. And you also gain level 3.
Oh, I'm gonna jolt awake and say not this shit again and go get some alcohol.
Okay. You find some easy enough. And you manage to drink yourself to sleep once again. And then everyone wakes up in the morning. Your watches went off without a problem. And you may now do as you wish with your day.
Who's waking up first? 'Cause I'm pretty sure it ain't me.
Yeah, no.
I wake up first. I head to see if Kobos is awake.
Gobus is awake. He is currently looking over the books and moving around the with the map, making calculations.
Will there be breakfast?
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. I believe Gillen and Galen were, treating us to a meal. You'll find them in the kitchen. Follow the smell. Good to see you awake. We'll discuss more later. Yes? When everyone is here.
Agreed.
Very good.
I'll head towards the kitchen.
Follow the smell can mean so many things.
Follow the
I'm never
smell.
gonna get up hearing the hearing commotion, I'm gonna get up and walk down wherever everybody else is.
Alright.
Looking for hot brown morning juice.
Okay, you make your way downstairs. As you find your way to the kitchen, you see Killen and Galen are hard at work making some food. There's bread, there's butter, there's there's all kinds of things for you to eat. I shall not describe the food any further.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't have 3 hours to talk about breakfast.
They look at you, gesture towards the table. You can start making food. We will be right there with you. And Galen nods.
I'll stumble out of my room, grab a plate, and sit down as well.
Alright.
I'll grab a plate and start grabbing small bits of pieces here and there, and then something to drink, and then I sit at the table.
Zad's just gonna get a giant plate of bacon.
Alright. Easy enough. Plenty of jerky.
Just bacon.
Okay.
And whatever he can't eat, he's just gonna stuff in a pocket.
Nice.
I'll stuff a muffin in my bag.
Alright, Batui got up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. I followed.
Alright.
Not necessarily followed him downstairs, but came out behind lots.
Kobus comes into the room, and he takes a plate of his own, sits down. Okay, friends. I hope you've had a nice night's sleep, or nice enough. We can discuss a bit more now, as you want to go to the Alone Mountains, and that is the path that you're taking. Yes?
Yes.
I'll nod.
Very good. I will provide with the travel, of course, whatever it needs. The horses. Put some different music on. Oh. The horses, wagon, if need be. The foods. Whatever you may need, I will provide for the expedition. It shouldn't take more than a few days to get to the Alone Mountains, I believe. What we will be doing is using these items. He pulls out the focus and the rock. From the way that I have been explained to by Ados's books and notes, is that the earth brings us to the earth, to the origin, and the focus allows us to see through it. I believe that is what it was meant to be like. Here, he puts both onto the table. He takes a small torch, and he lights it. He puts the focus in front of the torch, and he takes the rock and he puts it behind it. Could you hold this for me? He holds the torch out to anyone.
I reach out to grab it.
Right? Just hold it up straight.
I'm at- asking. Well, the reason I'm asking is if we could somehow pull it off, we could really use a barrel of apples.
Alright, stream is back. He has essentially offered to provide you with anything that you may need for your travels. That would be including, of course, horses, any mode of travel that you choose. Horses, of course, being the most convenient. It is up to you to choose how you wish to travel, and he will attempt to deal with
Leave
it.
notebooks walking.
I'd rather not walk. But so serious question here. Because I need to acquire as many apple seeds as possible, and they need to be fresh apple seeds. And that's why I was saying what I was saying earlier.
I look like I'm just tuning into the conversation. Like, as always the case in the mornings, I look absolutely exhausted, and I'll look at you with just the most blank-faced look I can muster, and I'll say, "I'm sorry. What?"
Do you want a real full explanation, or do you want me to just say wizard things? That's in character.
No, I know it is.
Wizard things.
No, I want to know what you need for all these apple seeds.
So, arsenic. I was gonna make fucking arsenic. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. So you take seeds, you peel the seeds, and you can use the seeds with a water-based solution and boil it down and refine it into arsenic. That's
I'll pinch the bridge of my nose. Fine.
I'm a chemist that specializes in poisons.
Upon hearing the poison talk,
You know, one
Darian
of
takes
the-
a look down at his glass and sets it down and pushes it away slowly.
Wave a hand dismissively, and I'll say, "One of these days you're going to accidentally poison one of my perfumes."
No, I have those boxes completely separate. They do no, we don't mix vials.
I don't believe you, but okay.
You know, Vile, I feel like you
At
would have
that
been the
point, I
one
start
that
pulling out the 3 boxes and showing her.
I have literally stopped paying attention.
I ignore the fact that you're not paying attention and continue to show you all
Let's
the
go.
boxes and how they're marked.
I look over to Vile and I tell him, you know, I feel like you would have been the most interested with the poisonings due to our recent endeavors.
I just nod and kind of stay quiet.
So,
yeah,
as Darian's still waking up, he wipes his eyes and says, "So, we're trusting the guy who has to write everything down to remember it, to remember where the poison is. Is that what's
No,
happening?
it's all written down, though.
Ah, notebook saves the day. This might be-
It's all clearly marked and organized. See row A, column F, something like that. I fucked it up in out of character, so I don't know what to say now.
No reassuring.
This is basically one of those points where you realize Notebook might actually be smart.
No.
Because he's got this
I don't
completely
think
down
so.
pat. Yeah, except you're not watching.
Anyway, I'm gonna look to Kobos. I'm gonna say, sorry, I spaced out. Why? What were we talking about before he started talking about apples?
Your travel. What would
Right.
be what you will need for your travels?
Right.
I will make sure to provide.
Well, definitely horses.
I assumed so. Would you like horses or a wagon?
A wagon.
A wagon would be nice, yes.
Alright.
Might be able to take more than a barrel of apples.
As long as I could still fit in the back, of course.
If we're making a grocery list, make sure alcohol's on it.
I'll sit on the barrel, as long as we can get at least one.
Grocery list. Bear.
Alright. It should not be a problem. I believe for the amount of us there is, I think a single wagon would be good enough. Yeah. What about the, unbeaten path? You sure a wagon will do well against it?
Horses might
Like
be.
that, not particularly.
Horses might be easier to manage.
Just a suggestion. It
Less
is up to you.
comfortable, but
Yes.
I'll say less comfortable and then kind of shoot a glare at Vile.
I just kind of stare back.
Stay back.
No one was surprised by you staring at me.
Well,
Well, Kovas, what is your input on it? Horses or wagon?
like I
What
said,
gets us there?
both will most likely get us there.
Wagon gets us there with supplies.
That is
With
true.
extra
Fine, then.
supplies.
Yeah.
So we either take a wagon or an abundance of saddlebags.
You do not want to overburden the horses with.
Correct. But we also don't want to struggle with the wagon off the path.
Yeah. It's up to what you feel is the best.
I feel like a wagon would break down. Stranded. Wouldn't be ideal.
Okay, horses it is.
Horses then?
Horses.
Looks around, nodding. Everyone in agreement. That is what I'm looking for here, guys.
Yes, I nod yes.
Horses.
Yes.
I'm with it, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
I'll figure, because that just leaves me with a question: how many apples can I get on my horse with myself?
Without your horse eating those apples too.
Or someone
Hey,
else's
I
horse.
can feed the horse the apples and sit there and just harvest the seeds while I feed the horse the apples all day.
Don't the horses eat like the apples full?
Okay, that's why I harvest the seeds and then give it the apples.
Oh.
All right.
Anyway,
So, now talking above game. This trip will take a while. This will be a few days of traveling on horse from at a normal pace, without overburdening the horses and yourselves, and also with no interruptions, of which is always a risk. You are making your way towards the Lone Mountains, and I'm going to be working on this for the next few weeks. I'm laying it out to make sure that you know how this is going to go. It is up to you what you wish to do in the meantime. There will of course be slight downtime, but it'll also depend on certain roles. The expedition itself will be on a bit of a different mechanic. As each day will go by, you have decided not to deal with the Pale Grip. You have a target on your back, of which you're very aware of. Each day there is a chance there will be an interference, but you have choices that you can make each day. Throughout those days, throughout those choices that you have, it'll determine on how often these happen. It'll determine on how often other things happen. But essentially, what this will be is a game of choices, and I'll lay them out to you as we go. Just so we're all clear on how this is going to go down. I of course need to work on the travel itself, but for now there was shopping that you wanted to get done very quickly. Preparations and potion buying. What it is that you need, lay them out to me or type them down to the chat.
Yep.
And I'll go through each one of them and can get them done.
So, how much stuff does a cart carry?
not getting.
You're not oh yeah,
Technically,
you
I can afford
decided.
it on my own.
A cart. Anyone else while I do this?
I don't think it's
yeah.
actually a good idea. Don't worry about that.
Sure.
Actually, yes, I do have a question,
Alright.
DM.
Go ahead.
Would it be possible to ritual cast Skywrite and write Pale Grip and then point in the opposite direction we're heading?
Oh no.
That's
No.
You can certainly do that. You can always do that.
Oh no.
point the wrong direction several times, and then one day point the right direction, and we're confused.
I actually don't think I can actually have an arrow. I think it specifies up to 10 words. So
That way, and just don't point anywhere.
Arrange your words into an F.
Alright, so here's what I
Technically
actually...
greater than and less than.
Here's the one that actually makes sense. I'd like to buy a pack mule. 8 gold in the PHB. I don't know what you want it to be outside of that.
A pack mule, yeah, that would be around 8 gold.
And what do I need to make it where I can pack it?
Uh,
Can I rephrase that?
It's already there. It's done. That would be 10 gold pieces total with the pack mule. Just 2 extra gold pieces, and you can get some extra for around 400 pounds capacity. A little bit more for the mule.
Well, an addition or total? DM.
Or total.
Total. Okay, so, and then, how much weight can a pack mule carry?
That is the total, around 400 pounds.
Oh, it says it. I see.
Yeah.
I'm being stupid. 420 pounds. All right. The pack mule carrying capacity is 420 pounds.
Yeah.
So, y'all obviously know what I want to put on there, but does anybody have any clue of what y'all might want to put on there? I'm willing to share my pack mule.
Nothing in particular.
I think the pack mule should mostly be for the return trip. That is my opinion.
Yeah, and you know everything I'm putting on the way there is for gonna be getting rid of anyway, so.
Alright, I was gonna compile a little list. For reference, I imagine it's something that we would have noticed, given that some of us travel lighter than others, some of us travel quite heavy. Does anyone have like a pick or a shovel?
Let me double check because I have a lot of things.
And follow-up question, is that going to be provided us for the purpose of our expedition?
What exactly, sorry?
Pickaxe,
shovels and pickaxes.
That will come, yes.
Okay, cool. Then rescind that question.
How much is it?
Buy them anyway. Yeah. Just to have our own personal use.
I actually have something I need to possibly buy, DM.
Yes.
Would it be possible to get my hands on some seeds from any kind of moon seed plant and a opalescent feldspar?
Ooh, I'll turn towards Darian and say, don't forget to get the drums.
That's first on my list.
Worst case scenario, they should be done when we come back.
You watch your whore mouth. That was Tomas, not Delilah.
Say.
Jesus.
Oh wait, never mind. I don't need those.
I was like,
I apologize. They're not.
That seems right. Delilah, that doesn't seem right.
That was a cruel turn for his character.
Vile.
Oof, okay, shots fired again.
How much is 120 pounds? Like, how many apples is that? Is that more than a barrel?
How much is what, sorry?
Because I had this factored based off a barrel, I'd get like somewhere around 3 or 4 vials of the end product. And now I've got 420 pounds to figure out how many apples I should take. I don't want to take a full 420 pounds, but I don't know how much a barrel would weigh of apples. You know what I'm saying?
Right. A barrel of apples. I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, I'm missing a number in my equation. Like, I have the formula.
We can get to that later. Sorry, Patu, you said you didn't need any more?
I forgot that I have a druidic focus. I apologize.
That's fine. Who wanted potions?
That's the potions. That's me.
Yeah.
I did. Also, I had another question.
Yes.
This is one that I would assume, since we're going to some ruins. I assume we're going to also be provided with various bits of paper, parchment, and charcoal, perhaps for rubbings and such.
Yes.
Excellent.
And Kobus will be going with you.
I do have a dumb question, sorta.
Yes.
Horses are what, medium sized or large creatures?
Horses, I'm pretty sure they are. Well, no, medium. Yeah, I think they're medium.
Okay. And my second question is, all the horses and the cart that we're getting, would you say that that fits within 30 feet of me in any direction?
Say that again.
Would you say that all of, like, the horses and the cart and everything fit within a 30 feet of me from any direction? Like, if I was to be in the middle of the convoy, would all the horses and stuff be within 30 feet of me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's all I need to know. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, a barrel of apples is 300 medium-sized apples. I still
Alright.
didn't get a weight. I just found a number of apples.
Well, just make a calculation of how much an apple weight, and then
I'm gonna
put them all
say
together.
a pound apiece and go with a single barrel of apples,
Alright.
just to make it easy.
That's that. And
How
potions.
much does that cost?
I will get the cost for that. You need assorted fabrics. Some potions. Okay. She could, yes.
Look, I write down shop names. I don't forget these things, Jack. I'm just trying to.
I am surprised and I am proud. I'm glad. Alright,
I
yes.
wanna go back to the crazy lady.
This is. Yeah.
Perfectly normal.
Yeah, she
yes,
was.
exactly. My kind of people.
DM, can I just tell you what I plan on doing when we leave?
Yes.
Okay. As we're leaving, I would like to cast a second level spell, Pass Without Trace.
Okay.
Veil of shadows and silence that radiates from you. You can choose any creature, any companion within 30 feet of you, including you, has a plus 10 bonus to dexterity stealth checks and can't be tracked except by magical means. The creature that receives this bonus leaves behind no tracks or other traces of its passage.
And that lasts for
I'd
an
also
hour,
like to
right?
Say that again?
That lasts for an hour, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I would also like to use my passive thing of speaking with animals to talk to the horses as we're getting ready to leave. That we are possibly being followed, and that we'd like to get out of here as quickly and as stealthily as possible.
All right.
And I will include the horses because I'm assuming they're considered allies, within the
Good
effect
riff.
of that.
All right. That can be done. All very reasonable.
Thank you.
Okay, for potions. What kind of potions are you looking for, Lila?
Oh, I mean,
Would
I
you
don't
like to?
looking the Dungeon Master's Guide because I always feel like that's cheating when I'm playing as a player, so I don't have the full list of possible potions in front of me.
There would be standard, greater, and superior.
Yeah. Right now, as far as healing potions, I
Yeah.
wanted to pick up 2 standards.
Okay, that would be 50 gold pieces each.
Done.
Mark it off. Get 2 gold pieces.
We call these investments.
2 potions. As for the-
What are the herbs required to make a healing potion?
What are the what, sorry?
Herbs required to make a healing potion.
Those are complicated.
Because we do have a
Mixture of herbs and magic, I would assume. Like
mad scientist
And-
over here.
I'm also would like to point out that
That
is
is something
my
I've
specialty.
been researching is how to make healing potions, as opposed to a
And it's
group of healing herbs that would heal you, yes, but it's not the same.
I would also like to point out, as far as using herbs to do that, I am your guy to talk to, because I have something that has to do with that. I'm able to tell the quality of a plant.
So you have nature versus science. I'm gonna go with science.
Yeah. Well, nature and science can go together. It's religion that we're worried about.
Looks over and vile. Yeah, I get it.
I'm sorry.
Nothing. Mind your
No,
business.
don't
Excuse
worry,
me?
don't worry, enjoy your popcorn.
I haven't got my popcorn yet. It's being made.
Okay.
How is a religious guy less trusted than a legitimately crazy person?
Yeah.
I would argue that being
How many doors has the crazy person broken down?
Yeah, I honestly like my character was there for honest reasons. I was not there to kick in doors for
Exactly.
nefarious means. That was not my plan.
DM, I just realized something before. Go ahead, whoever's next. Yeah.
Yeah. What's up?
You're up.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh.
I'm looking up some stuff. Go ahead.
We were here when my owl went missing, correct?
Yes.
I'm assuming people are shopping, so is it possible to sit down and ritual cast find or locate animal or plants?
Yes.
Describe the name of a specific kind of beast or plant concentrating yada 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 within 5
Mhm.
miles. I want to look for my owl to see if he's
Yes.
within 5 miles of us.
Okay.
Uh,
I wish you luck, good sir.
I
Within
kind of hope he's not. That'd be really funny.
5 miles.
I think it'd be funnier if he still is. Like, I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be gone. If for some reason DM like does it off a roll or something, and he's like still like 20 feet away just watching.
Uh,
Why do we not just call him Jay?
Huh? Because he's the DM and during the games.
So
Yeah,
I would like to
use, like, his name.
specifically.
It helps me.
You're worried
I would
about
like
breaking
to.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Think about how
Mister-
bad it is.
Can we call the floors
Can we call who
I
what?
would, I would
Oh
like
my
to
God.
specifically describe my owl. That way, it doesn't pick up on other
That
owls.
was at least
unless
4
its
weeks
name's
ago.
Beast.
All right.
Kulu, that was at least 4 weeks ago, I'm sure.
It was week 4.
Yeah, and this is at least week 10 or 11. Let me look at my notes.
It's 11.
Yeah, 11. I've got session 11 as my most recent notation area, so.
Yeah, it's not doing anything for some reason.
So do my woodland senses tingle?
Within 5 miles, you do not sense your owl. No.
Oh, damn, that hurts.
How much, by the way, Jay, was it for my fabrics and such?
That would be 2 gold pieces.
Alright. It is time, you see.
Yeah.
So you're gonna build another puppet?
Oh yes.
Ooh, yeah.
Are you gonna name it Winston?
I'd like to buy my new monkey.
No,
I'd like to
but
buy
it
my monkey a
actually
new
did
toy.
start with win, so good for that one.
Hey, halfway there. Living on a
Whoa.
DM, do you want me to base the like sledgehammer pickaxes and stuff just off PHP or?
Yeah.
Okay. And you didn't give me a price for the apples either.
Many apples, did you say?
300 pound each.
100 apples.
That's a barrel of apples. Oh. That should give me a few vials of what I'm looking for.
Might thing
The good
is,
news is there is a cost for trade goods.
Problem is, I don't give a darn about the apples. I just want the seeds.
I don't know how much. Never had to make price for apples before. Not a
Sorry.
consistent one. But I am sure that a single apple would probably go around a copper or two. Probably 2 copper, which will essentially just double the amount that there is in terms of
600
price.
copper, which is 6 gold.
Yep.
Okay.
Wait. Yeah, 6. Yeah, it is 6 gold.
Yeah. Alright, so that's your miner's pick. Shovel. And then it's that's 9. So 3 cents. 3 cents. That's 10. Okay. I will have 4 sets of crowbar, hammer, sledgehammer, miner's pick, and shovel as well.
Alright. You can take off those prices. Looking
Yeah,
into the
I've
PHP
already
book.
done. I'm
Alright.
down to 5 gold, but I got the party taken care of for stuff that we'll probably
Interesting.
lose at some point.
You're down to 5 gold.
Yeah.
Damn, this shit's poor.
I had to spend money on special materials to make the cells, remember?
Damn, look at this coinless idiot.
Look at this poor guy.
What a fucking savage, dude.
When figuring out half druid level, do I round down or round up?
Generally,
On
you
what?
almost always round down.
Yeah, generally you round down unless it specifies otherwise.
Okay.
Which means, unfortunately, rounding down.
So is this all for everyone?
I still
I
have the
think
question
so.
about crafting potions.
Oh, crafting potions. I'm trying to get that. Oh, wait, I actually got it. This.
Is it cheaper to buy the herb size?
Yes, it is cheaper, but it needs a person that knows how to craft them, and it also takes quite a bit of amount of time.
You said a day, right?
Sorry?
Full.
It said a day, right?
Okay, for specifics, a normal, the standard potion of healing takes about 3 days to finish. No. Yeah, sorry. The potion of healing,
Does
1
anyone in
day.
the party know how to do?
Yeah, Zad knows how to.
I just need to make sure I have the materials, which I never actually got the recipe from you, DM.
For
Just can I say I'm just buying the materials for it, and
yeah.
you don't have to deal with all that bullshit.
I still can't make it on the road, just so you know. They would all have to be me sitting there for a while.
Can't do it in the back of a wagon
You're not taking a
No,
wagon.
We did. Yeah, we
or a
didn't
cart.
get the wagon.
Yeah.
I didn't get a cart. I got a pack mule.
Right. I'll just buy the potion to make this faster.
Alright, how many are you buying?
1.
Of standard,
Standard.
greater? Okay. 50 gold pieces.
Done.
Alright. Anything else you'd like to discuss? Take that as a no.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that there's nothing.
How much do torches cost?
Imagine not having dark
Like a
vision.
copper a piece.
PHP.
Okay, I'll just drop a gold piece and buy. Oh wait, no, that's 100 torches. Never mind.
That is a lot
I
of
mean,
torches.
we've got a pack mule.
Hell yeah. Hell
we
yeah.
strap 100 torches to the pack mule. If things get rough, we'll light it.
Yeah, they're a pound a piece. How many?
That's a joke.
Torches last how long?
An hour.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, I guess I'll buy 10 of them.
All right. That is
Silver.
a silver piece.
Yeah, silver.
Numbers. All right.
All
Now
good?
what? We're done with whatever travel shopping we've not needed.
Okay. You will make your way towards the other side of the city, as there is a tunnel that leads out towards the back of the mountain, and that is where you will find your way out. There is no need to do that now, as this is where we'll end tonight's session. And next session we can start off straight away with the travel. I am going to. I have been disconnected and connected again so many times. I don't know what's wrong today.
Alright.
But I will see every single one of you next week, hopefully. I'm actually pondering on taking 1 week, which I'll say this on stream, fuck it, so that people actually know. I've been dealing with a lot of stuff, personal stuff, so I will take I'll take a week off so that I can make sure that this travel is the way that it's supposed to be, essentially, and that all of the mechanics are done well, so that it's not too overbearing and too overwhelming. But yeah, I just haven't had a lot of time to do a lot of things. But I'll try to get things sorted so that I can concentrate on this more. For now.
Oh shit.
So be it. If you guys want to hang out for a little bit, I'm going to say goodbye to the stream, and I'll see you guys in a bit.
Later, man.
Deuces, Jay. So, Lila, I have a question.
What a great way to end that. So Lila, I have a question. Hey, I don't know who stayed. I don't know who would possibly bear to stand this much time along with me with all of these fucking interruptions on the stream side. I don't know why. Hopefully the recording is okay. That is the only thing that I'm hoping will maintain. Kulu. Thank you. I haven't coughed as much as I did last session. I'm still sick, just not as much. Yeah, it should be fine. But yeah, like I said before, dealing with a lot of stuff personally, and just haven't had time to do a lot of things that I want to. Which is why the sessions have been shorter lately. But I'll try to pick them back up and make sure that things are in order. It's just been very stressful. But for everyone that came, and even more, everyone that has, where is it? Everyone that followed. Also Lemon. I don't know if you're here still. Fucking Gorgeous, man. Thank you very much for the raid. A little bit of pressure there, but I handled it well. That's a word. Definitely not the right one. Um, Thank you, King, for following. I appreciate you. It's been a while. I haven't been able to hop into many people's streams lately. But I appreciate you following. I'm not even sure if you're still there. I'm sure I saw some people. It's a person. Is it just one person that joined? Oh, King. There you go. Thank you for joining the Discord as well. If anyone else wants to join, of course. Wait, is this one working? I don't think it is. So I just use the whole socials. That will take you to a link tree with all of my stuff. With